Um, some good stuff going on. There's uh, some good stuff going on from corporate. There's a new shake coming out. Basically, what they're doing is they've got like five different shakes, and they're doing an Instagram program where it's like they've got five different shakes, whatever. Everybody's going to vote every day. They're going to basically kind of like be Survivor, right? One being booted off the island, and then at the very end, we're keeping one. They're going to keep one particular flavor. So whatever flavor is left is going to be the flavor that they're going to release on the 9th. So there will be a new shake released on the 9th of June. So that's pretty that's really good. That's very helpful for all of you guys, for all of us actually. And you're going to see, I'm going to end up, and I'm giving you guys a heads up. So what I'm going to end up doing is running an incentive when that happens. So if you can kind of spread your word through your team and let them know that um, if they buy the new shake that comes out and host a sip and sample within 2 weeks of the release of the shake, then we're going to do an additional. I'm going to give everybody, if it's their first time, then they're going to get $150. If they've ever done a sip and sample before, then just going to get 50. Okay, so it's a little bit of a bonus. What I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to encourage new people to host a sip and sample. Okay, there's going to be some requirements on the sip and sample. There's going to have to be an enrollment involved. They're going to have to be an associate. They'll have to be on Ice Body Challenge. But it's definitely going to be something that I want all of you guys to let your people know, because I really want to get people to host their first sip and sample, even if it's virtual. But they have to have an enrollment in order to get the extra incentive. So, but anyway, I'll dial it all out so you guys will know. But just be aware that you're definitely going to want to tell people to order the new shake so that they can be a part of the new incentive that's going to be launched that week of the 9th. Okay. As far as other team incentives, there's not too much else going on other than obviously the shred is going on and it's really going well. There's lots of people involved, lots of good posting, lots of good engagement in the pages, both in Great Nutrition and in Working from the Beach. I would encourage all of you to continue to engage in those posts and kind of show people how to to be most successful with this 11-day shred. The one question I've been asked the most is, what's the 11-day shred? And the 11-day shred is doing the system as it's designed for 11 days. Now, a lot of people don't seem to be able to do it for 30 days, but it seems like they can pull it off for 11. So, but what we're going to find, and what all you guys are finding, what we found as well, is that as people are going along, they get to about day 3 or 4, and then something's a problem, right? Whether it's, somebody's having an event that they need to go to, and so they feel like they need to, eat all the cake at the event, or something happens that they feel like they've got to engage in. What I'm going to help you guys, or try to encourage you to do, is when somebody tells you that they have some other life event going on, tell them it's okay. Tell them to enjoy it. Show them how Isagenix fits, instead of saying, oh, well, you screwed up your whole 11-day shred. No, they didn't. They just made a different choice for a particular meal or a couple of meals during the 11 days, right? There's no reason to throw out the whole 11-day shred over the fact that, 1 or 2 meals that you picked weren't, within your normal, weren't within your goal or your target, right? So just talk them through that instead of letting them bail out. Okay. So what you really want to do is say, look, okay, you had a cheeseburger and a beer. Okay. No big deal, right? That's okay. Because, and if you're really, and this is actually pretty interesting because I've done it a couple times. I've said, enter it in your MyFitnessPal. Go enter what you just ate in MyFitnessPal. And a lot of times they'll actually feel better about it, because once they enter it and they see that the protein, carb, fat ratio wasn't nearly as damaging as they thought, or the total calories wasn't nearly as damaging as they thought, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad, right? So make sure that you continue to encourage people to use the nutrition in a lifestyle manner, even though they're supposed to be on this, dedicated 11-day shred. Okay. And that's something that I would tell you guys to coach people all the time, but specifically during these challenges. Okay. So the 11-day shred is doing fantastic, and there's a lot of people being very successful with it. I know that there's been some on our Focus on Fiji call on yesterday. I asked several people to give like a daily or an update, a shred update, 11-day shred update. So if you see that happening, if you're on this call, if you're taking the time to be involved in this is what you're wanting to do as a business, take the time to, even if you miss the live version, go to the thing, watch it, and comment on the update. Okay, because a lot of the people I know, Michaela, Michelle, Kelly D, Carla, they're all going to do one. So you want to make sure that you go in, listen to it, and make some comments. And if there's something in there that's appealing to either you or to somebody that you've recently enrolled, then I would encourage you to tag that person and let them know. Okay. One of the things I want to talk to you guys about, as people that are trying to earn income from the business, is that I would love for you to fill out the Leader in Action form. Okay. I would really, really encourage you, if you're on this call, fill out the Leader in Action form. If you're not sure how to do it, ask the person that sponsored you. If they're not sure how to do it, ask up along the line, send me a message. I'm happy to help you as well. But there's other people on this call that can help you. But if you're not sure who to ask, feel free to ask me. I don't mind, but I know, there's several people on this call that fill it out all the time. I know Michaela does, Michelle, Carla, Kelly D, the faces that I see on here that I know have filled it out repeatedly. And you can reach out to any of them and they can help you fill out that Leader in Action form. That is a really important form. And if you want to know how to make money in Isagenix, that's how you make money in Isagenix. I want to give a special recognition to Michaela for a great post the other day about taking the, what I did with my money thing. That's really good. And I appreciate that, Michaela. And it looks really good. And it's very well done the way you're doing it. I know you're following a format, but it just looks good. It's got a nice look to it. And if you haven't seen that, I would encourage you to go to Michaela's page and look at it and see how she did that, because it was very well done. Okay.
Check in Working from the Beach, because I posted it in stories. So it's not on my Facebook page anymore, but yeah, check in Working from the Beach.
Cool. Thank you for that. All right. The biggest thing that I see right now that's going on with there's a huge amount of momentum going on. There's a huge amount of momentum going on within Isagenix. And there's a lot of enrollments happening. There's a lot of rank advancements happening. I would encourage you to just be aware of what that looks like. I'm going to tell you a little story, right, about something that happened to me today. And I want you to, so when I tell you guys about being intentional, this is what I did. So I was at a tree nursery today, picked up a couple trees. And while I was there, the young guy was helping me out, and he was, fit looking guy. So I engaged him in a conversation, and I said, "Hey, what do you do for your nutrition?" I said, "You look like you're pretty fit." And he's like, he says, "The one thing I'm probably the worst at is my nutrition." He said, "I work out, I go to the gym, I do this, I do that, but I'm not really hitting my nutritional goals that I'm wanting to hit." Well, you know what happened with that, right? So that turns into a conversation about Isagenix. And I talked to him a little bit, and I happened to have a hydrate stick in my car, and I also happen to have an amped stick in my car, the nitro stick in my car. So I gave him one of each. I sent him, and we friend requested each other, and now we're Facebook friends, and I'm waiting for him to give me an update of what he thinks of the nitro, because he's supposed to use it tomorrow for his workout. Okay. So again, be very intentional. Anytime that you're there, have that don't be afraid to have that conversation. And when you ask for someone's what they do, a lot of times it's an easy way to start a conversation. What do you do for? Right? you look fit. You look like a runner, right? If I saw Michaela, I'd be like, hey, you look like a runner. How often do you run? Oh, no, I'm not a runner. I'm a cyclist. Okay, whatever, right? That's fine. I'm going to turn that into a conversation. Oh, how far do you run? Such and such. Wow, what do you use for your nutrition? Now you have a conversation, right? If you compliment and follow that up with real conversation, then that's going to give you an opportunity to have a valid conversation with someone about how to turn Isagenix into that part, to engage Isagenix into the conversation. Okay. There's lots of different little tips on how to talk to people and make those conversations happen. And right now, with everybody being social media bound, I don't think that's happening probably as much as it should on face-to-face. But if you're getting out, I know Michigan get unlocked finally. Are you guys still on lockdown? Yes, no? What's the story?
We're mostly open. We're kind of phasing into it. We can do fitness classes now, 100 people, 6 feet apart.
You need 600 feet in your fitness class? It's like, it's like 2 football fields.
I don't know. Abby and I are going to wear shirts that say free hugs. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Nice.
I might get fired. Thank God I have Isagenix.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. All right. Very cool.
Hey, Brent, you have some questions in the chat.
Oh, what are they? Ask me. Read them to me, Michelle, because I don't see them.
Michaela said, can you tell us how you transitioned from him saying he doesn't have nutrition on point and you launched into talking about Isagenix?
Yeah, I said, oh, well, that's what I do. I coach nutrition. That's what I went straight to that. Yeah. That's cool. I coach nutrition, and you know, I can help you if I go directly to, and this is just me, but I go directly to macros. I say, I don't talk about diets. I talk about macros. And I said that, right? Because if you start talking about systems and plans and stuff like that, then you might scare somebody off. But if you start talking about something that, because honestly, most people have no idea what a macro is, right? Most people, if you asked them, you know, what's your macro count? They'd be like, huh? Right? And even if they'd heard of it or they thought they knew, they probably don't really know. Okay. So, and the best way to ask that question is if they say, oh yeah, I do my macros, then you just ask them, oh really? How many grams of protein and carbs do you do a day? That's interesting. How much do you do a day? Right? And you ask them that because that's going to give you feedback. And when they don't know the answer, don't make them feel like an idiot. Oh, you're stupid, right? You don't make them feel like an idiot. You simply say, well, I have mindset at this because this is my goal, right? If Michelle's talking to me, right? Michelle's having a conversation with me and I'm not using Isagenix and she is, and then she asked me that question and I go, well, I really don't know what I should set my macros at. She can say, well, I set mine at this, but I'm on a weight loss journey, but what I would recommend to you, or I know someone who could recommend to you how to set yours up, right? So if I was talking to somebody who was on weight loss, who I knew was looking at weight loss, then I might say, you know, this is what I have mindset at, but I could give you a recommendation, but I can also connect you to somebody on my team who has lost 100 pounds, who can really help you with that. And I'm going to use that as my transition.
You know, I'm gonna tell you.
Is there another question, Michelle?
Kelly just said, and did you just ask him if you can send him a friend request?
No, I said friend request me because I want to know what you think of that product. I don't, if I'm going to give somebody a product, you're going to send me a friend request, right? If I say, and again, the conversation went like this: hey, I've got this nitro, I've got some pre-workout and some electrolytes. If you'll send me a friend request on Facebook so I can get feedback from you, I'll give you some. Right? Okay, yeah, no problem. What's your name on Facebook? And I didn't right then and there. Right? He sent me a friend request right there. Okay, I'm Lee Brent Shaw on Facebook. Look it up. Boom, boom, boom.
And remember, guys, you can go into that thing in Messenger and just like scan each other's phones. Basically, it's super fast.
Yeah, we were outside in the sunlight, so I didn't want to, I was afraid it wasn't going to work because it was bright out there, and quite honestly, it was too hot and I didn't want to stand out there and have the conversation. So, because I had already been outside too long, but yeah, so that would be that breakaway for that point. Carla has, actually, you know what, this is a good topic. I'll go a couple of you. Michaela, have you had one recently? Have you talked to anybody recently that you've done a transition?
Yeah, it was choppy. That's why I asked the question.
How did it go? Tell us how it went.
So my neighbor across the street, actually, he just did his first Ironman in November. So I was talking to him about that. We're both endurance athletes. And I said, my way that I said is, oh, well, with my train, I found a performance products that really work for me, and it really changed how I work out. And he said, oh, cool. Tell me more about that. And then my girls interrupted. So it's trying to figure out, I have your point, Brent, that people are turned off when so I've learned you don't say the word diet, and because it's not a diet, and I'm clear about that. But the word system, as soon as you say, I found a system that really works for me, people are like, oh, I don't want to do any sort of system. So I really like your idea of talking about macros and talking about just nutrition and what you put in your body.
Yeah, because you'll turn them into a system.
Right.
Right. So the conversation can start off about macros and, well, what are you looking for? Well, what do you use right now? And that's a good one. What do you use right now? That is a really, really important question, because again, a lot of times people they're not using anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use anything. You don't use any supplements? No, I eat whole foods. Well, what do you use for your whole foods? Well, I use a blender, and I blend up, 15 pounds of kale a day, and makes, and, do this and do that and do the other thing. And you're like, do you have time to do that? Because if you have time to do that, that's amazing. Like, really being like, don't be a smart ass, but be really engaged in the conversation, right? Because some people, LED, are those people that, like, they're making it, they're blending it up. They're doing the smoothies for days and doing a lot of shopping. Wow. How much time do you spend in the grocery store? Wow. How much waste do you have? Do you compost? Right? Because yeah, how much is that expensive? Like, do you find that you throw a lot of stuff away? And ask those kind of questions before you say, oh, well, here's mine, it's in a packet, right? But find that out, and then say, well, are you worried at all about the nutritional the components of our soil and our food source? Because ask that question. Because if you have someone who tells you, I make my morning smoothie every day with kale and spinach and strawberries and bananas and all this other stuff, and you say, well, are you at all concerned about the nutritional density of food? No, I don't believe any of that stuff. You should probably just softly talk with them and maybe bring them into your network so that they can see what you're doing, because they're not ready for that conversation yet. Okay. Not everybody am I going to have the Isagenix conversation with the very first time I talk to them. Okay. Because if they tell me that they're killing their own cattle and they're raising their own chickens and they're doing all that kind of stuff, then I want to bring them in my network, because they may be a great resource for something else. But at the same time, they might say, oh, that's interesting that you do that or this. And then you become somebody that they can talk to. Okay. So don't feel like you've got to have that conversation right off. Michelle, have you had any recently? Good or bad?
Had any what?
Conversations that, where you had to bring up like a new person that you met and had to talk about Isagenix.
Yeah, online conversations.
How did it go? What's the current? Give us the most recent one. Or a good one.
Most recent one was I belong to an ulcerative colitis Facebook page.
Yep.
And because I have it, and there's a lot of people that post like questions in there. How do you like what are you doing for your nutrition, because I'm in a flare up and I need help or something. And then I use that to say, today a woman asked, something about what people are doing for their nutrition. And so then I segued into mine without saying Isogenics. So, and that I've only had a few flares in 2.5 years. So,
And how did that go? Did you get anybody that asked you additional
yeah.
questions offline, or how did that go?
yeah, some people commented and I took it into Messenger, and a couple of people just flat out messaged me and asked, but then they haven't responded when I respond to them and tell them a little bit more about what I'm doing and offer to put them in Great Nutrition. They haven't responded yet.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, that's a great place to go with your macros. Okay. Say that I have found when I balance my macros that I have a better feel, right? I feel better. My gut health is better, that sort of thing, right? So when you talk about macros and you talk with them about proteins or fats or anything along those lines, then you're going to have a better conversation, a more valuable conversation.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to have that conversation with them. Carlo, how about you? I know you're always having good conversations.
Yeah, so I don't get very complicated about, I never would talk about macros myself because I don't know really, not knowledgeable enough, I guess, to speak about it. I know what they are, but it's just not it's not Carla speak, you know? So if I meet somebody I meet a lot of people through our fitness classes, and I always say to them, we should be Facebook friends. And why would they question that? Nobody has ever said no. And I have asked very strange people to be my Facebook friends. People I just met in a coffee shop, car accident Colton got into. Seriously, nobody has ever said no. And we do it right then and there, because how else am I going to remember their name? I don't have a pen, but I have my phone. So I search them right away. And usually I say something like, you're so cool. We should be Facebook friends. I want to stay connected to you. And then they see what my pages are or whatever. And I do a shaker cup thing. And then I talk to them about it like that. Now, if I'm in a fitness class, I will say to everybody something like, damn, that was a tough workout. You guys better get your protein in tonight. You're going to be hurting tomorrow. And then somebody at the class says, and she doesn't mean a hard-boiled egg. And so, like, I would talk to those people, like, I don't know, it's just pretty casual. Like, I don't talk any kind of serious stuff at all. I have been learning to say Isogenics helps you fill in the gaps. I've been learning that helps, because I don't want to cut down anybody's life, their keto life, their paleo life. We got a lot of Weight Watchers around here. I don't want to cut them out. I'm like, yeah, Isogenics fills in the gaps. It like works with other programs and stuff. I love it. I mean, so usually if the conversation gets too deep, I'm like, you should probably talk to my friend Brent Shaw, because I don't know what the freak you're saying.
That comment about filling in the gaps is actually Jim Coover made that comment a couple of years ago.
Well, there
So,
you go. He's
well done,
my best
Carla.
friend, so.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, and that's a great one. And here's the thing, you guys. Carla's very successful at this. I mean, we're all doing it our way. So there's not one way to do it, right? There's just not. You've got to find out what works best for you. And if it's hey, we should be Facebook friends because you're so cool, or if it's hey, if you try this, if I would, if I would give you a sample, would you, give me feedback on it? Okay, great. Let's be Facebook friends so you can give me that feedback, right?
And sometimes it's as simple as like, you are so cool. I want to work with you. Why? What do you do? Oh, well, I run a business in the health and wellness. It's just like that. We should be Facebook friends.
Yeah.
It's just something like that. You should be on my team. Only super awesome, cool people are on my team. You should be on my team. I love you. You're great. You would totally fit in with my people.
Right.
She's like, who's your people?
For the guys that are on this call, this specifically for the guys, right? If you try hey, you're super cool, we should be Facebook friends to some girl, that's going to look weird, right? Not going to work, right? So again, you've got to have a
Your wife's gonna beat your ass.
yeah. So
Worst pickup line ever.
yeah, exactly. We're super cool. We should be Facebook friends. So you've got to have a different approach based off of who you're talking to. Or if Carla's standing there talking to some guy and she's saying this and his wife walks up, she may be like, huh? Right? So you've got to know, as easy as that sounds, just know your audience, right? So, okay.
Hey, I was going to share a thing that I connected with this girl 2 or 3 years ago at my son's baseball game, and she just moved to town, blah, blah, blah. We didn't really keep in touch over Facebook, but then I've been posting about 16-hour fasting and stuff like that. So she asked me what I was doing, how do you do the fasting, blah, blah, blah. So we got on the phone and I talked to her a little bit, and she said she's been doing Optavia, the rebranded MetaFast thing. Said she did it for 2 years, had really good success, but that's mostly, in her opinion, for like sedentary people that have a lot of weight to lose. So now she's more athletic and wants to lean out and, do something else. So anyways, we just talked about the fasting, and that was it. And then the next day or the day after, she was like, hey, I think I want to do that 11-day shred, because I had continued to post about it. But when we were talking about the fasting, I didn't press her on any Isagenix, anything, because she was just coming to me for fasting info. And so I think, obviously, we know not to push and to sell. So if you just let somebody just continue to post, I guess, is my message, because they're always watching and you never know when they're going to come around. And then when they ask you a question about something, answer that question and leave room for them to want more. And then this other lady who's in my networking group just made a post on her page, like, to help me kind of thing. And was like, and she didn't tag me or any of that stuff. And so she just was like, hey, who wants to do an 11-day shred, blah, blah, blah. And then she signed up 5 people, like, for those people that are, and she was like, I don't think I want to sell anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'll just put them under you. And so for all the people that we always hear, like, oh, I want to get results first before I tell anybody, she just put it out there, and then, like, boom, all these girls are like, yeah. So crazy.
Yeah. New network.
Brent, can I give an example of the people are always watching?
Yes, please.
I have been doing Isagenix for 2.5 years, and the person that signed me up lives next door to a woman. They both have kids that are friends with my son. So I've been posting for 2.5 years, and the last a week and a half ago, when I did the 2 weeks ago when I did the shaker cup post, she asked for a sample. She wanted a cup. Well, she lives right next door to the person who signed me up. She could get stuff from her anytime. She asked for a sample cup. Of course, I sent her one. And yesterday she signed up with a 30-day, a box of Amped Hydrate and Bia.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
she's
And they are always watching. And here's the difference between you and the person who lives next door to. I can't tell you how many people I've signed up because they've said, yeah, I've got a friend, my sister, my friend, somebody, they do Isagenix, but I want to get it from somebody who's actually who sells it.
Yeah, that happened to me too. And Michelle, the person that's next door to that person, asked me, what is the 11-day shred? She's in our group, she's on our team, but she's been out of the loop, as you know why. But yeah. So of course they're going to come to you because you're posting and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Anybody else have a recent communication or something you want to share? That's really good stuff.
I just want to call out my cousin Malia is on here, and I'm so proud of her. She's joined the last couple, so good job, Malia. But she just signed up a girl. Malia, I don't know if you're able to talk or if the kiddos are loud, but she just signed up a girl from Beachbody. So I don't know if Malia, you want to share how that went.
I'd love to hear that.
Are you still there, Malia?
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah. Oh.
garage doesn't get like the best signal. Hang on.
Welcome to the call, Malia. Thanks for being on.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's just what we do here.
Well, it's my-
I'm just glad it's somebody else putting somebody on the spot and not me.
Yeah, she's my cousin. I can do that.
Nice. I love it.
So this is actually a military spouse who reached out to me. They got relocated. God, I don't even know where they went to. But they PCS somewhere across the states. And so she reached out. She's like, hey, just happened to notice that you were doing Isagenix. And Beachbody, their Shakeology is so expensive, even just doing one shake a day for 30 months or 30 days in a month. And she goes, I already did all the research. This is the closest thing that I can find to the Shakeology that she felt comfortable with. I guess a few years ago, she looked into Isagenix at that time. And she said there was a lot of sugar content. Of course, I don't know what that recipe was, but she was complaining something about how where the sugar was coming from just didn't sit well with her, and so that's why she went with Shakeology. So she reached out and she said, well, this is what my budget is looking like. It was very minimum, and so she's like, well, let me talk to my husband. I think I'll probably just do one canister for the month and see. She goes, I just want something to kind of fill in here and there. She made it sound like she really just didn't want to spend a bunch of money until she really got to know the product, just for the Isoline shake. And so I told her, well, that's fine, and let me know, what you think of it. I was more interested in the flavors. So I told her all about the flavors. I didn't know it was the one that she had me quote her on. So
That's cool. So which flavor did she choose?
she's gonna go with the birthday cake, and she said, well, next time I'll probably try to see about trying out the chocolate. But she was most excited about the chocolate or the birthday cake.
It'll be interesting to hear what she says about the flavor, because a lot of the people that I've signed up that have been with Shakeology have talked about the fact of how much product they have to add to it. So it's always interesting to me when somebody from Shakeology talks about the sugar, because generally they're all adding strawberries and bananas to their shake. So that's a big deal. So I'd be interested to hear. So when she gets it and she tries it, I'd love to hear what she says.
Well,
And
definitely.
congratulations.
And what is Brent's favorite line whenever someone says there's too much sugar or there's not enough of this? You say compared to what?
Compared to what? Yeah, that's right.
That should be a hashtag.
Yeah. Tracy just had somebody the other day talking about, she was telling me the story. She had somebody the other day was talking about, they were trying to watch their sugar and this, and that, and the other thing. And, they were really trying to keep an eye on it. And she was for her lunch, she was having a banana and an apple. And that was her lunch. And she's like, you realize that a medium-sized banana has 17 grams of sugar. And she was like, huh? Like, a banana's healthy, right? Apple's healthy, right? Yeah, but it's still 17 grams of sugar for the banana and probably 20 or so for the apple. So 37 grams of sugar right there for lunch. And they were worried about the sugar that they were trying to cut down the amount of sugar they're taking in. So it's really important to pay attention to people's questions and their comments. So that's good stuff. Anybody else?
I had an opportunity at the grocery store today and I totally choked.
What happened? Let's hear it.
I ran into a girl who I used to go to church with, and we were just chatting, and she says, you look so great. You always look so fit, and I'm over here getting fat. And she's like, are you still doing high fitness? And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. Instead of saying, I've been doing Isagenix and I love it and it's helped me not get fat, I just said thanks.
Are you Facebook friends with her?
Yeah.
then have the conversation. Hey, you really caught me off guard with that comment today. Thank you so much. It really made my day.
Totally.
And then re-engage the conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Try to pick up the conversation from where it was left off with a compliment back, right? Or a thank you. Because she's going to respond when you tell her, you know what, your comment today, it was so cool that I was on a Zoom call with some friends, and I actually shared your comment to me. Right? That's how much it was on my mind. And then that can generate a conversation.
Totally. I'll do
Okay.
it.
So good stuff. All right.
And thank you for admitting that, Kelly, because now I don't feel so bad when it happens to me.
No, I've missed
Well, I was just
plenty.
gonna say too, I did the exact same thing, Kelly, with my neighbor. He was in our backyard and he's like, man, I can't figure out what to do about my inflammation. I'm standing there like, well, I have an answer, but I didn't say that. I was like, well, what's going on? And that was it. And then I actually followed up later and I texted him later. And then the next time we were outside, he's like, thank you for texting me. I want to hear more. So you can always follow up.
For sure. It's a good point.
Yeah. But you can't always follow up if you're not connected somehow. So you've got to make sure that you get that connection in there. Right? All right. I am going to go over a little question that came up earlier on. Angie asked a question about an enrollment. So just so you guys understand how this happens. When you get someone who says yes, did I miss something, Michelle? I saw your hand come up. Okay.
I think we all did. Carla and Diana are having a private conversation or something.
Oh, okay.
Freaking Carla. Oh my God.
It's always Carla. All right. So the conversation that Angie had, the question Angie had was, when someone, this happens quite often. You talk to somebody, all right? I'm talking to Kelly D, and she's like, yeah, I'm interested, and I'd like to buy something. Okay, great. And I'm new, right? So I don't know anything about anything, right? How to do anything. So I have a couple of options on how to proceed with getting Kelly's information and getting her enrolled. Okay, so here's your options. You can contact customer service, give them my name, and here's my ID number, and tell them what you want, and they will sign you up and send it to you. Okay, that's an easy one. Okay, and you give them customer service phone number, they call up, they say, hi, my name's Kelly D. I'd like to get started on Isagenix Nutrition. My friend Brent Shaw, his ID number, blah, blah, blah. Can you sign me up? And Isagenix will do that, right? The customer service will do that. You could do a 3-way call with customer service. They will do that. The next option is you can, and I encourage all of you to know this, but you go to your back office and go to your link, okay? www. Whatever your URL that you created, .isagenix.com. If I give my link to Kelly D, www.workingfromthebeach.isagenix.com, and she clicks on that, she can go through and she can place her order, and that person will be enrolled under me. Okay, that's how Isagenix is going to work. If she clicks the buy now instead of the sign up and save, I will still get credit for her purchase, but she will not end up on my tree. Okay, she won't end up on anybody's tree, right? She's just doing the buy now, so she's paying retail price. Okay, you don't want somebody to do that because then they're really going to have an issue with the cost, right? Here's an important aspect. If you give somebody customer service or if you give somebody your link, you've got to ask them within 3 days, did they sign up? Because if they say, yeah, I bought product and yeah, they're sending it to me, and you didn't get a notification, then they got signed up somewhere else. Because here's what happens with Isagenix. Any of you could go to anybody can go to isagenix.com, click the sign up and save, and Isagenix is going to let them enroll. Or here's something also happens. For those of you who pick some obscure URL to be you, if somebody types in working from the beach and they misspell beach, guess what they're going to do? they're going to get rerouted to Isagenix.com. Okay. They're not going to go to my site. So if you've got a really odd or a hard to spell name or something like that, and somebody types it in wrong, they're still going to sign up. They're just not going to be signed up by you. That's why it's really important that if I give my information to Kelly and she says I'm going to get signed up, that I follow up with her within 24 hours. Hey, did you get signed up? Yeah, I ordered everything the other day. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't get a notice. As soon as you know that they did not get a notice, as soon as you realize that they signed up but you didn't get a notice, you need to, the easiest way to do it is contact me or contact any other of the upline executives that have access to VIP, okay? Because if that happens, I can get on with VIP and I can say, hi, I'm on with Kelly D. She had a girl named Leslie that signed up under her, and Leslie said she placed her order and she ended up under someone else. Okay, well, we're going to need to talk to Leslie to make sure that she really does want to be signed up under Kelly D. Okay, no problem. Add her to the call. Hi, Leslie, give me your name, give me your email address, give me your phone number. Okay, you're verified. You wanted to be under Kelly. Okay, we'll fix that. Then you know it gets fixed, okay? Because then I can tell customer service, I want them placed on my bottom right, my bottom left, whatever. Okay, very specific how to do that. So if you ever have someone who says they got enrolled and you don't see that enrollment within minutes, because the minute that they sign up under you, you're going to get an email confirmation. Okay, the minute they hit transmit, you're getting an email confirmation if they signed up under you. So if that doesn't happen, you need to get on the horn and make something happen. Now, where will Isagenix put someone when they get signed up randomly under you? Isagenix is going to put that person on your minor volume leg, okay? So whichever leg has the least amount of volume on it at that second, that's where that person's going to be placed. So if I enroll Michaela and right at that moment in time, my right side is my least amount of volume is on my right side, that's where they're going to put her. If that moment it's on the other side, they're going to put her over there. Okay? So just be aware of that as well. Now, in Angie's question, if that person actually signed up with a pack, the BV follows the person. Okay? So if Kelly mistakenly got signed up under me and she really meant to be signed up under Michaela, then when Isagenix moves Kelly over to Michaela, they're going to take the volume and they're going to move it with her. Okay? If it's within 3 business days. If it's outside of 3 business days, then you're going to have to pay a fee to move them. And if it's over 5 business days, they may not move them. So you've got to get it done in 3 business days. Okay? If you want to get it done the best.
This is why I like that recommended cart with the IsoLife app, though, is if you talk about them, if you talk about it with them, know what they want, make the cart, send it to them with the link, they go right in, and when you send them the link, it asks you what side you want to put them on.
Yep.
If that's how I signed up that person yesterday. It worked flawlessly. Thank you, Leslie, because I had never done it before that way. She talked me through it.
That's awesome. Leslie, are you doing that regularly? Walk us through that, because I honestly have never done it. I've never sent somebody a cart.
Okay, so you go into your PC in your back office, and you click on team, and then you go down to add recommended cart, and then you go in there and it gives you you can, hold on.
It's manage recommended carts, and then it says add.
Okay, so manage recommended cart, add cart, and then you just add whatever product you want in there. And then
would you mind sharing your screen and walking us through it?
Oh, sure.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna make you the co-host. Okay.
Okay.
So you got to
accept, Leslie, go.
Okay.
You got to accept co-host.
And do you have to be on your PC to do a cart?
Yes.
You have to be on it you have to be on your PC to create it.
Yeah. And then you send it to the person through the app. Carla's shaking her head. So you've made it in the app?
Yeah, I'm not in the ISA Life app, but I've made it on my phone.
Oh, well,
I'd
but
like to
you're in
give
your back office on your phone.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
like
so
to
you
give
have to be in your back office, not the app.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a whole bunch of cards already made with names. So you should do that first. But go ahead.
Okay, so Leslie, click share screen now. You should be able to share your screen.
Okay, so you go to team, and then you manage my recommended carts.
Okay,
It's running slow, of course.
that's all right.
And then you go over here to create new recommended cart.
Okay,
And you can see the people I've started carts for already underneath there. So you want to start a new one. And then you can choose if you want to do the lifestyle rewards or preferred customer.
okay, and just hang on tight for just a second. So
Okay.
just so you guys know how I pick that is if somebody is starting with a pack, I always put them on the top one because they're going to get an additional discount. If they're not starting with a pack, a lot of times I'll put them on the regular preferred customer, but it's up to you. And part of it is based off of how you have talked to them about how long they want to be using the nutrition initially. They want to do 30 days, they want to do 60 days, they want to do 90 days. I'll have that conversation. You want to do 30, 60, or 90 days? Well, just 30. Well, I do 60 days because I want to make something happen. No, I really want to make this happen, so I'm going to do 90 days. Then I would put them on the lifestyle rewards program.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we'll just go to this one. Doesn't matter which one you pick.
Yep.
Then you can either search product or just pick a pack. We'll just pick a pack for ease right now.
Okay.
Then and you just pick your, I guess I could have done it easier. I should have did.
That's all right. Just pick 4 and call it good.
Leslie, you got to choose how many you want in those.
Oh, I can't see the whole.
No, it did. It picked 1.
Yeah, but it comes with 2. You got to choose 2.
2.
2 cleanse and 4 shake. You only chose 1 of each.
Okay. Okay, so add the cart.
Okay.
Then, okay, so then you click continue down here.
Okay.
Then, sorry. And then you can add your customer's name right here.
Okay.
And then save. And then you just go to your ISA Life app on your phone. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's pretty easy. I guess I can stop share now with this.
That's okay. So now when you do that, if you send that cart to me, so go ahead and send it to me. So if you send that cart to me and I click through it, where's it going to put me on your tree? Or you said you get to pick that?
We can pick that, yes. So you go to your ISA Life app, you go to the back or my profile, then you go down to share Isogenics. And I think that's when it asks you. So you click on the cart that you just set up.
Okay.
And then it says enrolling sponsor placement, and then it'll ask placement, and it'll ask minor volume team, or if you want it on your right leg.
Okay.
So that's where you can place them. And then you just click share this recommended cart. And then like I can send it to you if you want, so you can see what it looks like.
Yeah,
Just
send
through
it to me. Is it send it via email?
Messenger.
Messenger? Okay.
Messenger.
Yeah, send it to me.
Hey, Brent, can I add to that too? You can choose who you want the consult or the person to be too. So she could create that for you and send it to your person too.
Hmm.
So you can choose who gets the enrollment.
Oh, I follow you. Okay.
Yeah, because you choose who the sponsor is and everything, so you can choose all that.
Okay.
Okay, it's sent to you, so
Okay. So you sent to me on Facebook Messenger?
yeah.
Does
Yeah,
this,
that's how Todd showed me. That's the only way I've ever actually enrolled somebody so far.
does this automatically put them on lifestyle rewards?
No, you get to choose that when you're when I was in my back office, you can choose
Okay.
lifestyle rewards or
Oh, right. Gotcha. Thank you.
you're welcome.
So here's what I got, you guys, just so you know. Here are the Isagenix products I've selected to fit your goals. Tap the link below, view the products, complete the order, and sign up for Isagenix. So I'm going to tap the link, and it's loading. It's a little slow as well for me. Okay, there it is. So then it's telling me where I can put in my name, my first name, email address, all that kind of good stuff, and then it says continue creating my account. So I'm assuming that once I throw that in there, then it's going to ask me for my credit card and to verify the products.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Brent, they can also make adjustments. They can make adjustments if they wanted to change a flavor.
Okay.
And Leslie gets notified that you started it and when you completed it. So you don't even have to make that text and ask them. It lets you know when they've started it and completed it also.
Okay. All right, cool.
One of the cool things about it is the person accepts the cart, puts it into their personal cart, and then you don't have to go through the what's your credit card, what's your name, what's your address, what's your phone number. They fill it out and complete sign up. So you don't have to go through any of that. The downside is they could remove some stuff out. You don't really have control if they see something and they don't call you and ask you a question. They just like do it. You don't really have any control over it.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was going to say is if you're working on points or Fiji or something like that, I mean, I personally will not use that IsoLife app right now unless I know for certain the person is going to pick what we've talked about, because we've been screwed more often than not because we use that all the time, and they'll come up with 98 BV because they pull something out of there, and I'm like, son of a. And I know you can call the company and add on, but how do you do that? So I love it. I use it all the time, but I won't be using it during Fiji unless I don't need it or I'm signing up somebody for somebody else. Then I definitely would use it. You know what I mean? Like,
So you just get all their information, Carla, then?
yep. Yes, I plug it all in myself. I mean, unless I know for sure they only want to cleanse or something like that. Yeah, I plug it all myself because I like to give them cool usernames. I like to be in total control of that.
That's a good point about the ability for them to change it. Because if they change it and then all of a sudden you're trying to run for a team incentive or anything like that, then all of a sudden they've backed out some of the product. So I haven't used the carts, as you can tell. I remember when this first came out and I kind of played with it a little bit, but I've never actually used it. One thing I have done though is I've gotten the person on the phone with me and had them go to my account, right? I'll say, go to my URL. So I have them type in workingfromthebeach.com or .isagenix.com. And then I've enrolled enough people that I know what they're seeing, right? So then they're seeing this, they're seeing that, they're seeing the next thing. Okay, you see this, click this, click this, click this. So I can walk them through the enrollment. I would encourage you to do the same thing with these. And that way if they're doing it, that way that they're ordering what you planned on them ordering. And if anything changes, that you're aware of it before it happens.
Well,
Right.
you can also say, and I've done before, say, hey, if you spend $170, I kind of bump it up a little. I don't tell them the 100 BV because then I got to explain something.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, if you spend $170, just to let you know, I'm going to give you 3 sticks of hydrate. Yeah, sucker.
Right. Yeah. So I've gone through most of it, and I'm at the paying portion. So that's good. Cool.
A failure of mine, by the way, with using the website, like to send somebody, make sure you're having the conversation with them first. Because I had somebody who I thought she knew like what she was doing because she's used Isagenix in the past. And so I just sent her the link to go order, and she didn't order enough for like a whole month. And so then she didn't have 100 BV, so it didn't count. And so that was my fault, because I should have had a better conversation or sent the recommended cart. But at the time I didn't know how to do that.
Okay.
So note to self.
Hey, Brent.
Cool. Yes.
So when you sign them up through the link, like you give them, you send them the link for the website, and they enroll that way, do they automatically just place them on the side where you need the volume, or do they alternate? Because the last 2 enrollments that I've had, they put them both on my right, and I was assuming because that was my larger volume side.
Minor volume side at the time.
Minor volume. You can set your default in your back office. If you go to your back office and you go to if you go to your back office, you go to my account,
Mm-hmm.
you can put your default setting so that if somebody goes to your website and they sign up, it will place them where you want to place them. So if I knew I knew if you were going to sign up right now and I wanted it done, then I might go in and I say, oh, I want her on my right side. So I might change it to the right side for your enrollment, and then I would change it back. But the other option that you have is you still have 3 days to move somebody if you need to move them. So
Okay.
if they enroll, don't worry about it. Just get them enrolled, and then you can contact customer service and say, hey, because if I am the sponsor, I can move them wherever I want. I can even give them away, right? So if you go to my website, Diane, and you sign yourself up, and I'm like, that's really cool, but that was actually supposed to be Kelly D's enrollment, then I can call them and I can say, hey, customer service, can you please change the sponsor designation to Kelly D, her ID number such and such, and then they will move her to her. And you have 3 days to do that also.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Cool. The only time you cannot move them, because this was Angie's question, is the only time you cannot move them is if you if they enrolled under somebody not you, right? If I'm trying to sign up Eddie, and Eddie goes on to, he goes on to Isagenix.com and he gets signed up under somebody I don't even know who this person is, I can't just say, hey, you need to move Eddie to me, right? Eddie can call in and say, hey, I want to be moved under Brent, but I can't say, hey, my buddy Eddie got signed up under the wrong person. Can you move him over here? They've got to get Eddie on the phone, right? They've got to get the person on the phone. But Isagenix will do that. So what I would have done in that case is I would have called Eddie in advance, say, hey, you're going to be getting a phone call from me, and I'm going to add you to the call, and this is going to be VIP on the line. So I'm talking to VIP, or I'm talking to customer service, and they say, yeah, the person has to be on the phone. No problem. I've told him he's waiting for a phone call from me. Add the call, and now he's on the call, and then make the change happen. Okay. All right, cool. 7 o'clock, 7:01 in Arizona, 10 o'clock East Coast. So thanks you guys for being on here. I hope that was beneficial. I hope you guys got some good info from that, and it can help you out. That was some good information. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing that. That was good. And Eddie, tell Angie, thanks for bringing up a good topic, because that's important. So we appreciate it. All right. All right. You guys have a fantastic evening. Good luck on your continued 11-day shred. Keep rocking and rolling. And remember, the call, Focus on Fiji, is at 11 o'clock on Arizona time on Monday. So if any of you want to be on that call, you're welcome to be on the call. Okay. Have a good night.